Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm reading for Sagittarius energy today, and oh my goodness, the cards are confirming what I've been getting intuitively. Sagittarius, be careful not to get yourself into trouble, please, in July. So I am reading predictively for July. I am, so it may resonate now, it may not do. You can come back to it, but it's kind of like, I see these readings as kind of being like a bit of a heads up, a bit of a forewarning of things that you might be running into. They're telling me topic again. I've got a hot topic, and they're showing me, I don't know if is there a chocolate called Topic? It looks like a picnic. In the UK, we have a picnic bar, but it says Topic. I don't know what that means. So chocolate could be something for somebody. But I need to Google that. Hold on a second. Oh my God, it is a chocolate bar. I don't know if they make them anymore, but it is a chocolate bar called Topic. Let me kind of like show you kind of like what it looks like there. So that's kind of what I was on about. It's so funny. But when I first Googled Topic, it actually came up Topic Games. Let me just see what Topic Games is, because that's actually Topic Games. Mobile friendly games based on many topics to improve your English vocabulary. Okay, I don't know if that applies to anybody. Okay, where do I start? Right, let me start with games. So the first thing that I got for you was from my own deck, and it was Wizard and Mars. And it felt like, I don't know why, but it gave me, I think there's an old movie called Wizard, where he wants to go and enter this game competition. And he kind of like, he's a young lad, and there's another guy, and he has like it's all about Nintendo, and they're playing like Super Mario 3, I think, from what I remember from this film. But there's a guy, and he has like a big controller, like this. Do you remember the Nintendo gloves? He has like one of those, and it's like he's the guy, he's like the main competitor. So it's really making me think of kind of like game nostalgia, which is funny because my eldest is Sagittarius, and they've been playing like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like this, Stranger Things impact. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of stuff about like retro games, game nostalgia, game companies. I've got it in my head that there's a game company called Wizard. I think I might be thinking of Blizzard, but it's coming through as Wizard. And when I kind of like looked into it further, it's funny because I was getting Dungeons and Dragons separately, and I was getting Wizard, but the people who make Dungeons and Dragons are or were called Wizards of the Coast. So I've also got like Hasbro and Hot Topic, which I know Hot Topic is not a game company, but they sell a lot of kind of like Hasbro as well. Hasbro and Hot Topic both do a lot of kind of like models of kind of like figures from games and like movies and things like that. It's kind of like collectibles. So I'm really getting this kind of like nostalgia, retro gaming, collectible, either tabletop games or like computer games, all this kind of like sort of like 80s kind of nostalgia of that kind of topic. So if that's something for you, it's there, it is. If it's not making sense, maybe it's going to make sense in July, but it's coming through very, very strongly. Along with like, for some reason this was giving me like Elon Musk as well. You know how people see him as being a bit of a tech or industry wizard, and then Mars is about taking action. Like, isn't he trying to go to Mars? I don't know. I was kind of getting Elon Musk anyway. But I was getting this thing about new versus old, like technology. New versus old. It's kind of like this winding back the clock. So talking about my eldest again, like they were showing me this thing called character AI yesterday, where it's AI generated chatbots, but you can talk to a lot of your favorite characters. So they were kind of like showing me that they were talking to people from computer games and things like this. And I think older generations have a lot of resistance to this newer tech. Like for the kids that growing up these days, AI is just part of the everyday stuff that they engage with. For a lot of children, it's also not. Not everybody has the same culture, the same position in life, the same opportunities to engage with this kind of stuff. But I mean, it's so easy to download an AI app onto your phone these days. A lot of kids have mobile phones, so it's just this really common, kind of like normal, natural thing for their generation. Where if you're more of my generation, where I grew up with like the Nintendo console, like, and like those kind of old retro games, You know, the AI can seem a little bit frightening because we grew up watching movies where the robots take over and kill us all, right? So there's a lot of maybe there is a lot of nostalgia for like the way things used to be, sort of like the Show Me Now Tetris on a Game Boy. But there's something coming through for you, Sagittarius, where it's something to do with, it's like combining, maybe it's talking about how to sell products, like how to sell to different generations, right? Because but also stuff that different generations can enjoy together. So it's almost like okay, so character AI may be like a really new thing that the kids are doing, but maybe it could be Mario talking to you. So it's this, do you see what I mean? It's this combination of things that are retro and nostalgic, but also combining new technology. So another way that you could look at this might be, say for example, Nintendo made a new console that kind of like looked and invoked a lot of those kind of like original features of the original console, but they incorporated new technology such as AI to create a more advanced, engaging experience than kind of like what they had at the time. So maybe it's something about revisiting games but injecting new technology into them, or making new technology, making it look like old technology. I just keep seeing, like, you know, the Nintendo controller, the kind of really square one with the two red buttons. So a lot of that coming through. So like retro revival, but also something about this being very necessary. I don't know why it's coming through as necessary, but that's the word that kind of came through. And again, the idea of like selling products. So Hot Topic and Hasbro kind of making the merchandise for these. I channeled, because of this, I channeled the song Step Back in Time by Kylie Minogue, which is like, all you can do is step back in time. But she says, remember the old days, remember the old ways. So there's this real nostalgia for like old, I want to say old technology or old games or old products from probably around the 80s. So that's one thing that I've been channeling for you. The next thing I've been channeling for you is I had a song on in the background, and as the song said, "You must think I'm a fool," the fool card popped out of the deck that I was kind of like tidying away. And I was like, how strange. And it's almost like as I was tidying this deck away, the cards kept on coming out to kind of like confirm what the lyrics of this song was saying. So it was a Sam Smith song, but it was a cover by Sofia Karlberg called Too Good at Goodbyes. So this could be something that you're experiencing right now. I've wrote in my notes, read the lyrics, because there's a lot of stuff in the lyrics that, again, the cards were kind of confirming. So I was like, I know that they want me to talk about this in Sagittarius's reading. Oh my goodness, it was 11:11 when I screenshotted this. I didn't even realize, but can you see? That's a screenshot, and it was 11:11. So Too Good at Goodbyes. This is the Sam Smith lyrics. You must think I'm stupid. You must think I'm a fool. You must think that I'm new to this, but I have seen this all before. So again, that kind of something coming back around energy, retro revival. I've seen this all before. I'm not going to let you close. I'm not going to let you close to me, even though you mean the most to me, because every time I open up, it hurts. So I'm never going to let you get too. I'm never going to get too close to you, even when I mean the most to you, in case you go and leave me in the dirt. So the Temptation card, which is the Devil card in the Good Tarot, popped out at this point, which is really saying there's a temptation to go back to someone, but it's kind of like the devil's in this relationship. It says, every time you hurt me, the less I cry, and every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry, and every time you walk out, the less I love you. Baby, we don't stand a chance. It's sad, but it's true. And then I was really getting kind of like Queen of Swords energy. I was already getting a bit of Libra energy through for you already, but it was really coming through now with this kind of Queen of Swords energy. So it doesn't have to mean that you're engaging with a Libra, or that you've got Libra in your chart. It's just the energy. It can be something that's going on in, you know, as the planets move around, you could be affected by Libra energy. But the Queen of Swords in the tarot is kind of like she's been hurt, so she's gone cold. And this was kind of what I was seeing in my mind. And then the lyrics said, I don't know this song very well. And then the lyrics said, I know you're thinking I'm heartless. I know you're thinking I'm cold. I'm just protecting my innocence. I'm just protecting my soul. So it feels like, I mean, maybe a Libra and a Sagittarius are getting involved with each other. Maybe the Sagittarius is a bit of a a rebel, and the Libra is like, listen, I need to protect myself here. I need to put my boundaries up. I need to kind of ice you. I need to ghost you because I don't want you kind of corrupting my innocence if you're coming in with that kind of devil energy, Sagittarius. But of course, flip and reverse it. This could be somebody around you that, you know, is maybe they're engaged in some kind of, maybe they get themselves into trouble just because of what's here. And maybe you want to keep yourself distant from that. Maybe that's not a world that you want to get involved in. So you're like, as much as I love you and as much as I want to be with you, there's stuff that you do like that will get me into trouble, and I don't want to be in trouble. It feels a bit like that. You've also got Violets for Roses by Lana Del Rey. So I did screenshot something here as well because it was confirming something that was coming through. I thought I screenshotted it, but apparently, oh, there it is. It's finally happening. Ever since I fell out of love with you, I fell back in love with me. And so it's really similar to the Sam Smith lyrics where it says, every time you leave me, the quicker of these tears dry. Every time you hurt me, the less I cry, right? So it's like, it could be a very hot and cold relationship. It's funny, like hot topic, right? It could be a very hot and cold relationship for you where, you know, this person comes in, they steal your heart, and then they kind of break your heart when they leave. So again, it's like, you know better than to engage with this. You know better than to get involved with this relationship. And it's almost like desensitizing you to it because, again, I was getting that Queen of Swords energy. And, you know, I know you think I'm heartless. I know you think I'm cold. I'm just protecting myself. Because, it, you know, that feeling of kind of like, I'm learning my lessons here, right? I'm not going to keep giving you my heart if you're going to keep hurting me. So when you're coming back around, I'm going to be kind of icy and cold and have those barricades up, which did come through for Libra. So yeah, it feels like, and relationship that could have ended for you, but it's the more you distance yourself from this person, the more you love yourself. What's really, really, again, confirming this, that this is kind of a toxic relationship. I don't know who you're kind of engaging with. If this is your story, and if it's your story, you know, right? You're like, yep, that's what's going on here. For others of you, like, just hold on, because I'll pull cards on camera. We might get a completely different story. But another song that came through for you was Mr. Badman by Cruel Youth. So again, this idea of like a bad man, right? A bad guy, a guy who's in trouble with the law a lot. Hey, Mr. Badman, give me that crown. So immediately I was like, Libra again in Sagittarius's reading, because Libra had this thing about, I'm going to take that boy's crown. And I'm going to storm the castle. I'm going to take that boy's crown. There's an old man sitting on the throne telling me I shouldn't be so mean. And this is coming in with the same energy, right? Hey, Mr. Badman, give me that crown. Never going down for nothing. I'm taking the crown and running. I've got the clout. You're bluffing. When I drop a bar, you're buzzing. Got you feeling just like you're coming. I stand on that, you're crushing. So again, it's kind of like maybe somebody's met the match kind of energy. I don't know. You also had 99 Problems, Points of Authority by Jay-Z and Linkin Park. I kind of like, he gets in trouble with the law in that song, but you kind of like, he knows a little bit about the law, so he knows what the police can and can't do. So I'd also watched a clip on Twitter before I did your reading, and I feel like it was giving me information for your reading. So of course, Jay-Z, he's talking about being a member of having black skin, right? Being a member of the black community, if you want to say that. I think there's a lot of that kind of like puts everybody into one big. I feel like that doesn't work very well, because it's not like every single person is in one. It's not like every single white person is in one big community, right? I don't get along with a lot of people who have white skin, so I can't imagine like it's the exact same thing. Anyway, I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but basically what I'm trying to say in a really unsophisticated way is Jay-Z, as a black man, is singing a song about being harassed by the police, right? And being targeted and being stereotyped by the police. And so coincidentally, I actually did just watch something on Twitter by somebody, I can't remember who it was, but it had been retweeted into my timeline by a comedian that I follow. And it was this sketch where the roles were reversed. And basically, there was 2 white police officers and 2 black men, and the black men were stop and searching the police officers because they fit a certain type, right? They fit a certain demographic. It's like, oh, we know what you're like, you know, we're going to stop and search you because we know that you're up to something. Do you know what I mean? So it's always this role reversal of like the way the police can sometimes what would the word be? Because stop and search is meant to be a power that the police have in the UK that's meant to be not biased in any sort of way. It's meant to be completely random. But then in this sketch, they were sort of saying, well, you fit the demographic of the people we're looking for, and they were like, what? We thought it was random, and they're like, oh, so it's kind of like it's sort of talking about role reversal, but also holding the police accountable, and this kind of thing. So I was already getting this stuff about like cars and stuff about police and stuff about black culture, or even just kind of like counterculture, like rebelliousness, because you also have Macklemore, Ryan Lewis, Can't Hold Us. So again, Can't Hold Us. I feel like, let me just, what initially came to me was because you've got this involvement of law, and again, this it was so crazy because I was already channeling all this stuff first, like 99 problems, points of authority, in trouble with the law, and then these cards came out, and I was like, I love when this happens. I love when the cards confirm what I'm getting, right? Position of authority, involvement with the law. It's so Jay-Z, right? But it says temporary problems and things will not always be this way. A change is coming, right? This makes me think of the Scorpio reading where it was like Sagittarius was being released into the wild, is the way it came through. It felt like they were coming out of a cocoon and kind of being able to spread their wings and have some freedom. So it's kind of making me think of that if you've got Scorpio placements or you're dealing with a Scorpio, because it felt like Sagittarius energy in their reading. So yeah, if there's something going on where perhaps there is an abuse of authority, I also saw like the Ram card, which is like a stubborn person. So you could be dealing with somebody who's perhaps a police officer, a judge, the law system. There could be stubborn people who are perhaps, if not abusing their authority, at least flexing their authority, right, in a really controlling way. Again, it's saying things will not always be this way. It's a temporary problem, change is coming. So with the song Can't Hold Us, it's like if somebody gets arrested, it's like the police don't have the power to hold them for more than a certain amount of time, right? It's like yes, they might get arrested, but they're going to be released because they don't have the authority to hold them any longer, right? So Can't Hold Us. And with that Jay-Z song as well, it feels like somebody who knows the law well enough to be able to I don't know, demand their rights in order to, they know what they can, you know, it's almost like they're familiar enough with the law that they know how the system works. They know that they can't hold them. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone, but that's kind of what was coming through. And then, like I say, the cards really, really confirmed it. So again, there could be something about, again, about like games and retro nostalgia. Kind of makes me think like, you know, people get like the retro trainers collections, something about cars perhaps, something about dealings with the police, but also standing up to authority. Maybe get a Libra involved. Libra is mad. If Libra's your mother, if your mum finds out about this and they're a Libra, like they are coming in with battleship energy, like they are coming in to knock the system down. That's how it felt in their reading. So really, really interesting start to your reading. I'm curious to see how this goes. It kind of does have that feeling like if my kids got arrested, I'm a Libra, right, and my eldest is Sagittarius, and it's like if they got arrested unfairly, whew, I would go full Karen on their asses. The police would be like, please, can we release this child from our custody because I don't want to deal with their mother anymore. Like, we just want some peace, just release them. Okay, announcement. So there could be some sort of announcement for you in July. What else is going on for July for Sagittarius, please? Okay. 4-leaf clover, someone else had clover. Great fortune, announcement. Keep your life in balance. There's that Libra energy again. You could have Libra placements. Dragon. Beware of self-delusion. Okay. Rein it back in, Libras. Beware of self-delusion. Keep your life in balance. So that feels like there's something coming your way, I want to say, in July that could feel like a real blessing. Something could be announced. It could feel like, you know, God is shining on you. You know, you're in the right place at the right time. You're very, very lucky. This is very, very fortunate. Oh, hold on, roll it back. So you also had diamond. You'll be receiving a precious gift. If you're dealing with a Scorpio, you've got Scorpio placements. There was this message in their reading about they got the gift card a lot of times in kind of like the first attempt that I tried to do their reading, and it was coming with this message of beware of Greeks bearing gifts. It's like if the person giving you a gift has some kind of you know, some kind of like beef with you, or, you know, they're not your friend, but they're giving you an expensive gift, or, you know, there's something a bit off about it. Just be really careful. And then because of your reading, because you had all that like trouble with authority, I thought just be really careful if somebody's like giving you something expensive. It's like, well, where did you get this from? Right? So if it's like stolen goods, like somebody's got a car, like somebody shows up and they're like, hey, can I put this car in your garage for a bit? And you're like, you can't afford this car. Where did you get this car from? It's like it could be stolen. So it's like that kind of like possession is 9/10 of the law kind of thing. Just don't, if anything, if you think anything might be like stolen, or like there could be something illegal about it, just don't accept the gift, because it just seems really something really iffy about that. For others of you though, it's really, really positive. So just be wary about where it's coming from, and if you need to ask questions, or just be like, I'm not asking questions, but I'm not getting involved in this. Especially if this is an ex, right? So you had a lot of messages about maybe an ex who's a bit of a bad man, or, you know, a wild woman. Take it as it resonates. And, you know, if they show up and they're all roses and sexy and spoiling you, and you know this is a cycle. It's like, you know that they're just using you, you know that they're just showing up, and then, you know, they're going to disappear the next day. You know, if someone like that, like an ex, shows up and they're like, hey, I bought you a diamond ring, you're like, well, why? I haven't spoken to you in 6 months. Why are you showing up at my door with a diamond ring? It's like, because they stole the diamond ring. Do you know what I mean? It's like, just if you need to put 2 and 2 together and get 4, do it, right? But whatever this is, whatever this feels, because it feels like something that's going to come in and be really exciting for you. You know, it feels like, oh my goodness, like my luck is in. I'm very fortunate at this time. I'm really excited about this announcement. It's like, keep grounded, keep your feet on the ground. Don't get too carried away with whatever this is. Like, don't let it go to your head. Okay, what else please for Sagittarius for July? Whoa. What else please for Sagittarius for July? My nose has just gone so itchy all of a sudden. Rainbow. The most difficult part of a situation is over. Again, so if you're experiencing, because a lot of the time the pre-shuffle can be kind of what you're experiencing now. If you're experiencing any kind of difficult situations where perhaps, even if you don't feel, and I can explain this on my level as well, like I've got a Sagittarius Mars placement. Sagittarius Mars likes physical freedom, so I don't like to feel physically restricted. This last week or so, myself, my children have been a little bit poorly. The weather's been ridiculously hot and I burn really quickly. So I felt really like stuck in the house, like I can't go anywhere, like I don't have the energy to go anywhere, like I can't go outside because it's too hot. So I've been really stuck in the house and it's been really humid and it's felt stifling. So my Mars Sagittarius placement has been like going crazy. It's like, I just want to go outside for a walk. I just want to go and kind of like, I just want to get out of the house, right? I feel really kind of like housebound, or like I'm climbing the walls a little bit. And I'm trying to be grounded with that. I'm trying to be like, do you know what? If the universe is forcing me to stay in the house and rest, I need to stay in the house and rest. It's for a reason. But it does have that feeling of like, even if you're not like actually dealing with the law, even if you're not physically imprisoned, you could feel feel like you don't have the freedom to do what you want to do, or perhaps you're particularly housebound or something like that. So it is saying the most difficult part of a situation is over. So if you've had a tough time of it, it's like things are only going to get better, but you do have hard work ahead. So again, it feels like if the universe has slowed you down in a way where it's kind of like the universe is getting you to rest, to recover, to do self-care, it could be that you need to do a lot of kind of like physical work in the future. So just if you take the time when it's given to kind of rest and recuperate, I want to say. Marriage. Yeah, somebody could be coming in and proposing, guys. You've had diamond ring and marriage. And handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. I mean, don't marry a stranger. That seems like a weird thing to do. But there could be some hard work regarding if you are married. Maybe you're going to be working hard on your marriage. Maybe you've gone through a really difficult period, a really tough time of it. Maybe during COVID, again with this idea of being imprisoned. Maybe during COVID, you and your partner drove each other absolutely crazy. But it's like now that you have your freedom again, now that you can kind of like get out and have a bit more independence, you know, the worst part's over, but maybe you need to work hard to kind of like make amends a little bit, like, you know, agree on certain things. I don't know. We'll kind of see. We'll clarify. It's kind of that way. Hard work again, and hard work ahead and handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. It could be that you're taking some kind of job as well. I mean, you seem a lot more positive than Scorpio, because Scorpio had like revenge wife. It was like your ex is baking you a cake, but it's got laxatives in it. It felt really like beware of exes bearing gifts. So I think I've brought a little bit of that into your reading. There's this kind of like beware energy. But yours seems a lot more positive. At least things seem to be moving in a better direction. Okay, tell me about... keep your life in balance. Tell me about scales, bell, and four-leaf clover for Sagittarius. The Chariot. Again, I was picking up on cars. I mean, this is a motorbike, so take it as it resonates, but normally the Chariot to me means a car. Control, self-control, especially with the scales, and keep your life in balance. The Chariot is a card about bringing your light and your darkness into alignment, and kind of you can't really do anything if things are pulling in different directions, right? It creates this stagnancy because you can't physically go left or right if there's these like opposing views, these things pulling on you. You have to bring things into alignment in order to have forward movement, and that's kind of what the Chariot card talks about. It does also talk about success, reward, recognition, being cheered on, achievements. It kind of makes me think of the Roman triumph, where, you know, if someone did something really good, they'd have a parade. So it does kind of have that energy to it for me. But again, this idea of like control is Cancerian energy. You could be dealing with a Cancerian. You've also got Libra there. Four of Cups. It's funny. She's over it, and she's kind of like throwing this on the ground. Maybe there's a computer game and you're like, I'm over it. I don't want to play this game anymore. The Four of Cups is a card about it's kind of like crying over spilt milk, but in doing so you miss out on new opportunities that are coming your way, because then the Ace of Cups is being handed out here by the universe, which is like, no, this is for you, this is the right thing to choose, this is specifically made for you, it's designed for you, the universe is bringing you this as a gift, but you're too busy going, well, none of those other cups worked out for me, so I'm not interested. But it's like, no, this is... Well, they didn't work out for you because they weren't brought in by the universe, right? They could be things you chose yourself. They could be things that maybe you weren't supposed to engage with in the first place, and that's why they didn't work out. Or maybe it was something that the universe brought in to teach you a lesson. So for some of you, you could have this feeling of like, well, the universe led me here, the universe led me here, the universe led me here. None of that worked out for me, and now you're trying to like make me take this cup. I don't think so. You have this feeling of like you've learned the lessons, right? False promises kind of thing. But what's the announcement and what's the good fortune? Again, with the Libra energy, again, this could be something about a mother. It could be something about a boss, mother figure, wife. But the Empress is, she's kind of like as good as it gets. She's really beautiful. She's takes good care of herself. She takes good care of her kingdom, so her home, the people around her, her children, her partner, her family. She's very caring, very nurturing, very loving, but she's also intelligent. She's strategic. She's experienced. You know, you can't pull a wool over her eyes. She'll see what you're up to. But announcement and great good fortune. So this could make you feel like you're in Empress energy. It's kind of like, maybe it's something where whatever this is, it could really stroke your ego. It could make you feel really good about yourself, in which case it brings you into Empress energy, or it could be regarding an Empress as well. Also seeing King of Pentacles there. So it could be about a job opportunity. The Empress card comes in when somebody has somebody on a bit of a pedestal as well. You know, it's kind of like, this person's perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? People can be in Empress energy, but normally it's kind of something that comes and goes. Nobody's in 100% like Empress energy 100% of the time. You know, people have stuff that they're working through, but if you're vibing high in this moment, somebody could really see you as kind of maybe you coming into their life is making them feel really lucky. Tell me about rainbow. Most difficult part of the situation is over. Hard work ahead. The Magician. I was picking up on the Magician energy, right? You had Wizard. And there was a Magician in Scorpio's reading too. So the Magician says you can make things happen, and you can make things happen for yourself. Whatever your dreams and wishes are, whatever you can envision, you can do, right? You have the, if you're coming into this, especially in Empress energy, the Empress is all four queens of the tarot. She's the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, right? So she's kind of mastered all the different tools of the tarot. And this is really what's happening with the Magician here, because an Empress in Magician energy is like, I know how to use all these tools at my disposal in order to make my dreams happen. And not only my own dreams, but the dreams and wishes of the people that I care about. So it's somebody who's maybe they've got the money or the resources or the skills to do something on a practical level. So again, maybe you've not got the money, but you know how to make the money. So it's that kind of thing. The Pentacles talks about tangible resources. The Sword is information, knowledge, ideas, thoughts, communication skills. So again, these are tools at your disposal to make your dreams and wishes come true. The Cups talks about social skills, knowing the right people, being able to make the right connections. You know, the Sword and the Cup together is kind of like choosing the right words for the right social group, and the Wand is kind of like creative ideas, the drive, the ambition, the fire in your stomach to make it happen, you know. So really, whatever you want to happen, you can make happen. You've got the tools and the resources to make it happen. You just have to fix your arrow, right? Choose your bullseye, Sagittarius, and kind of you know, tap into that Wand's energy to really push through and get that hard work done. But you can do it, right? It's like the table. Literally, the Magician normally has a table in front of them with all those Magician's tools on them. Tell me about marriage. Why is marriage here for Sagittarius? Why is marriage here for Sagittarius? Tell me about marriage, please, for Sagittarius. I've gone a little bit quiet now. Two of Cups. Okay, so I mean, this could be a literal marriage. The marriage card with the Two of Cups is a really, really positive sign. Very positive sign. The Two of Cups is meeting someone who feels like a soulmate or a best friend. So this could very easily be literally marriage, romantic. You feel like you've met someone who is your equal. They give as much to you as you give to them. It's kind of almost like, even if it's not a romantic relationship, even if this is like a marriage of minds, two people coming together because they're on the same page, right? Or this is kind of like a work marriage, like whoever this is, there's definitely another person here for you, and it's almost like best friends energy. So it could be you're marrying your best friend, right? It could be somebody who you really see eye to eye with. You could have differences of approach, differences of opinion. You don't have to be like an exact mirror of each other. What I love about this Two of Cups is one is approaching from the water and one is approaching from land. So we could talk about earth sign placements, water sign placements. This is kind of like a more emotional approach, and this is more of a grounded person. But absolutely, like, they work together really well, they match equally. I always say the Two of Cups is like, you could be in a crowded room and you could catch the eye of this person, and you know them so well, you know what they're thinking, right? You can read their expression. You have the same thoughts at the same time. It's almost like that level of compatibility. And in a marriage, that's a really, really strong marriage, actually, that could really stand the test of time. So again, whether it's literal marriage or this is just, maybe this is what you're manifesting, maybe this is what you're wishing for, right? You're wishing for somebody who will come into your life and feel like a best friend and have that kind of long-term commitment. So again, it could be something that you're manifesting. So it might not show up in July. It might be something that you are energetically putting out to the universe. I'm glad that we're not seeing kind of like whatever that kind of troublesome energy was in the if that's an X, I feel like you're definitely moving on from that X. Yeah, Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups flashed up, which is really like, it's a move on from the Four of Cups, because the Four of Cups is, I'm not engaging with this anymore, I'm not interested, I'm not doing it anymore. The Five of Cups is starting to be like, okay, I'm grieving for the spilt milk, I'm grieving for the things that didn't work out, and behind the person is the Two of Cups. So it's like they're just about to turn around and see it, right? After going through disappointment and heartbreak, they're about to turn around and see that the universe has brought them something that matches them. But it's really good to go through that grieving process first, and really to let go of if you've got any difficult exes, or even just experiences that have been really challenging, whether this is work or friendships, and people have let you down and disappointed you, things haven't worked out. It's good to kind of like have that grieving process, to kind of process that, to figure out your thoughts and your feelings on that, and kind of get to that point where you can kind of let it go, because you want to be going into new relationships really fresh. And I do see that happening, or at least the process of that starting to happen for you in July. Tell me about a handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, do be wary of Greeks bearing gifts. Do be wary of, like, we'll pull another card to clarify this, but just be careful. The Ace of Pentacles can be, again, any ace is divinely guided. That's why there's a hand with the clouds on these cards. So you can see here, this is depicting the Ace of Cups on this card. This is always divinely guided. It's always the right thing for you. It's what you need at that time. So whether this is good for you or bad for you isn't really the question that the universe is asking. The universe is saying, what lessons do you need to learn right now, and how do we help you to learn it? So it could be that it could be very beneficial to you. It could lead you down a road where you're going to learn lessons, but the universe knows best, right? So I want to say, to a certain extent, do trust this, right? If a stranger hands you a gift and it feels, again, like announcement, great good fortune, it feels really like right place at the right time. Like, wow, this really has just fallen into my lap here. Whether it's money or some kind of gift or an opportunity, it could even be something like running into someone in a supermarket, you get chatting with them, and they're like, what do you do for a living? And you're like, oh, I'm an independent games designer. I design graphics for apps and, you know, small computer games, and especially like retro style. And this person goes, oh my god, you're exactly the person I've been looking for. I'm actually a game developer, and I've been looking for someone who's really good at kind of creating retro game art. Like, we should have a conversation. We should have I'll set up a meeting and you can show me some of your work. And you're like, oh my god, great, like, what are the chances? And then this is kind of like you know, you showing up and showing your work, and then being like, yeah, let's bring you on board, let's get you a contract here. So it really feels like divinely guided, and really quite almost like, again, it's kind of like right place, right time. This falls into your lap. But again, I feel like it's the universe working behind the scenes to not just benefit you, but benefit the other as well. Like, there's a mutual benefit to this, especially with like the handshake, the Two of Cups. It feels like a marriage of minds. Who knows, maybe you will one day end up marrying this person, like, in the future. Oh my god, as if confirmation, as if we needed confirmation. I went like that, and it was the Hierophant, which is the card about marriage. I think you might be meeting the one. I don't think you're getting insta married, but you never know. The Ace of Pentacles can be an engagement ring. Because it says stranger, it's like, wait, what? Say what? Okay, what do I want to ask about? Tell me about the Chariot then. Why is the Chariot here? Queen of Wands, Sagittarius being Sagittarius. I love to see it. So you're feeling really empowered. Whatever this is, again, be wary of your ego. Be wary about getting carried away. It's really important to keep your feet on the ground about whatever this is. Don't know, maybe you're winning a car. I worked with someone years ago, a co-worker who, they just had a packet of crisps one day and they won a car. They won I think it was like a Golf. And yeah, all they did was like they were having the lunch break and they won a car. Like they couldn't believe it. And it was really lovely because they were a really lovely person. And they did work hard and they really did. It couldn't have happened to a nicer person kind of thing. So yeah, but it has that feeling of like, whoa, like, wow. I don't know. I'm not saying, right, I have to really give these disclosures that I can't make you promises. Sagittarius, I don't know how many people are going to come to this reading. It does feel like July is going to be a really lucky month for you. So do you know, get out there and talk to people, meet new people. You know, put yourself out there a little bit, in a safe way, of course. But I feel like if you're vibing high and if you're really in a very, very confident but grounded mood, right? You're not letting your ego get the better of you. You're not going in like, I'm the best, everybody bow down to me, but you're just going in confidently and, you know, going in to have fun, going into situations to kind of like full of enthusiasm and, you know, happy to be there. You're ready to contribute. I feel like it's going to manifest stuff for you, and manifestation takes time, but I think you'll be surprised actually at like when you get into that energy of like Empress, Queen of Wands, when you're in control of yourself, you're vibing high, you've got the confidence to get out there and do what you want to do, how empowered you start to feel and how much you manifest good stuff towards you. I don't really think you can manifest very well in Four of Cups energy, so do be careful about that. Yeah, no, heal that. Whatever that is, that needs healing, because that's going to be kind of like the blocks underneath your wheels. You really want to be in this energy and not this energy, right? Because that's going to miss out on opportunities. But it could even be, you know, if you're healing from something either physically or emotionally, it could be, you know, maybe you've just experienced a breakup. That time, right? That time to disengage, to turn your phone off, to spend a couple of days in bed eating Haagen-Dazs, whatever you need to do to process it and get through it and get over it, rather than just kind of like ignoring it and putting it on a shelf and kind of like it comes out later unexpectedly. Like that time is really important. So heal if you need to heal. And then it's like coming out in Empress energy. So tell me about the Empress energy, please. Oh yeah, somebody, it's a really old song. I got the hearts for you, da 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 da. I got the hearts for you, and I do feel like I remember it coming through in a reading, in the last set of readings, I think, but I couldn't tell you which sign it was. This is Pisces though. Knight of Cups, Pisces energy. It really is somebody who's like, they're really into old-fashioned ways of romancing someone. This feels like somebody who, I mean, flip it and reverse it if needs be. You might be the Knight of Cups and you've got someone up on a pedestal, but the Empress is, it's almost like, oh, they're giving me like a song. It's like I think it's like Dreamweaver. Is it from that scene in Wayne's World where Garth is looking at his like dream woman? Like Dreamweaver. Get you through the night. So it's like whenever this person looks at you, they're like, oh my goodness, they're everything I could want and more. Do be wary. Pisces energy does tend to wear rose tinted glasses. They do tend to see what they want to see in people, and that's why poor Pisces gets so disappointed when people let them down and show the true colors, because you know, Pisces energy, it tends to believe in the fairy tales. It tends to believe in the happily ever after, at least initially, until like they run into the problems and they get hurt and then they get disillusioned, which makes me sad because I think there's a real beauty to that. I really think there's a real beauty to pure Pisces energy, where it's like, I believe in the impossible. I believe in Disney. I believe in these fairy tale stories of happily ever after, and then life beats them down, and it's so sad. But yeah, this is really like knight in shining armor, like gallant, old-fashioned, like gentleman, like true romance kind of energy. Like this person is coming to you like buckets of roses, writing poetry, hat in hand, down on one knee. Like this is someone who's smitten. That is someone who's smitten with the Empress. But they're coming through as they don't feel good enough for the Empress. A knight, it would be rare for a knight to approach an Empress. But absolutely, I don't know. Again, you could feel like, oh my God, I can't believe my luck that I've met this person and that they're interested in me. Oh my, you know. But sometimes maybe that's what someone needs. Like someone needs that kind of pure soul, you know, that sweetness. Um, yeah, especially if you've dealt with things that haven't treated you the way that you should be treated. It's almost like when you vibe high, when you know your worth, right? When you put yourself on that pedestal and you treat yourself like you deserve to be there, and you expect other people to treat you like that, it does set out expectations to the universe. And you know, people will approach you correctly if you demand to be approached correctly, you know, and anyone who doesn't, you just don't give them the time of day and they don't get close to you. You know, very quickly people learn like this is what this person expects to be treated like. If you let people walk all over you, people like, yeah, that person lets people walk all over them, I'll continue to do it. Whether that's subconsciously or consciously, I don't know. But yeah, put yourself on your pedestal this month, Sagittarius. Tell me about Magician, Empress. You're like, I'm doing it. I'm manifesting myself to be an Empress energy, or you're manifesting an Empress. I mean, maybe you're two Empresses, right? Maybe it's two girls on this card. Maybe that's what you're interested in. You're interested in someone who approaches life the same way that you do. I don't know. This could be same sex. Manifesting an Empress. It does really have that feeling of two people who really have each other up on a pedestal. You know, two people really manifesting their dream person, and then, you know, the universe is like, hey, those two dreams match up. Let's get those two people together. It's really nice. Two of Cups in marriage. This is not the devil. This is defeating the devil. This is getting away from the devil. I had a feeling, like the feeling that came over me when that card came out. I didn't see what it was, but I knew it was a negative card. And then to flip it over and see that it was in reverse, I kind of knew that it was going to be in reverse. Sometimes I get a feeling before I see the card. And so I had this kind of like plunging feeling in my gut. Yeah, this is getting away from the devil. So if that's a toxic ex for you, this is a new person, I want to say. That's defeating the devil. I mean, the devil has trouble messing with an empress because the empress comes at life with truth and clarity and kindness. You know, they shine so bright that the devil always works in the shadows. The devil always works when they can get away with things, when things are hidden. So I'm talking about devil energy, not the literal devil, but if you want to see that as the same thing, absolutely fine. But yeah, like the devil energy gets away with stuff in the darkness, right? When things are hidden, when things are behind closed doors, when people don't talk about stuff. And so when the Empress, as the Queen of Swords, you know, and all these different things that she holds with this high vibrational, truth speaking, clarity, when she shines that light, there's nowhere for the devil to hide. You know, he's going to go creeping back to those corners. He can't get close. Tell me about handshake and Ace of Pentacles, though, please. Again, it's like beware of Greeks bearing gifts, right? He's like holding his hand out, but there's strings attached. There could be some worry. There could be some worry if something really good is coming in for you, but say every time someone's giving you money, it's, you know, they've wanted a favor down the road, right? So you could be kind of in that energy of, I don't trust this. I don't trust this because it's always come with strings attached in the past. Tell me about handshake and Ace of Pentacles. I feel a bit sick. This feels like lessons learned. So whatever this is for you, you've learned lessons about these kind of opportunities, these kinds of things. So you'll know, right? When this comes up for you, you will know, because you've been through this before, whether this is trustworthy or not. Because it's either going to raise those feelings of kind of like red flags, don't trust this, or it's going to be like, no, this feels different. This feels different. This is not what that was. You should know. Second chances, new life, leveling up. Okay, can we, I think I want to go to this deck first. So tell me about the spirit guides. Who's around Sagittarius in July? Who's helping Sagittarius and what are they helping with? So this is the Goddesses and Angels Among Us Tarot. Oracle decks. There's a really good representation, actually really good representation in all the decks that I was pushed to use for you, and we did get some talk about kind of like black culture. So interesting, the kind of like diversity. This could be a hot topic for you in July. This could be something that's kind of you know, something that you're engaging with, the idea of kind of like making things equal, making things accessible. Could be something that you're checking out. There's something else, but I'm not quite pulling it in. It's like Empress meets Empress. I don't know. Okay, who is around Sagittarius in July? Who's helping Sagittarius in July? This can also be earth angels. So it could be like, you could feel like this is perhaps a particular deity that means something to you. If it's not a particular deity that you're familiar with, or it doesn't feel like it vibes with you, look more at the person on the card. Does it remind you of somebody in spirit, an ancestor who's helping you? Does it remind you of a friend in the 3D whose spirit might be working through? I really love this deck because there's so many different ways that it can resonate with people. Ishtar, she's gorgeous. She reminds me of Salma Hayek in just Salma Hayek's beautiful. And Baba Yaga, you've got a Rhiannon on the bottom there as well. So that says empowerment, independence, and sovereignty. Yeah, you're taking that crown and you're running with it. Ishtar, feminine power, sexuality, heaven on earth. Whoa, that Venus energy. Whoa, that's like, I don't know, you've got Mars. I don't know, Mars and Venus. Baba Yaga, the wise and wild woman. Duality, the witch. Okay, very sexy ladies coming through for you. There are men in these decks. Well, this is the Goddesses Among Us. It's all goddesses. I'm hoping they do Gods Among Us. This is Angels Among Us, so there's a really nice balance of men and women in that deck that could have come out, but you've got 2 women. 12. Let's see what they're helping you with. Feminine power, sexuality, heaven on earth. Ishtar or Inanna is considered to be the oldest deity known to date and is older than any of the male gods. An ancient Sumerian and Babylonian goddess, she was said to be the daughter of Enki, the queen of the heavens, and the goddess of love, sex, beauty, war, justice, and political power. She does feel like a combo goddess, doesn't she? Love and sex and beauty sounds like Aphrodite, right? Venus energy. War sounds like Mars energy, which you had here. And then like justice and political power feels very Libra, and it feels very like Athena. Venerated in many different areas by many different groups. It's unclear exactly. The reason why I'm saying that is like because she feels like that combination, because I was saying it's like you've got Venus energy but it feels like Mars, and that's kind of what it is, right? It feels like Mars and Venus together, like the masculine and feminine in one. Venerated in many different areas by many different groups, it is unclear exactly what the origins and worship of Ishtar looked like, but it has been suggested that the priestess of Ishtar was sacred prostitutes, sex workers, please. Men could be initiated into Ishtar's cults and become priests, although they often went against gender norms and took on female names and dressed in female clothing. That is so interesting. So all these people, I've been saying it like, you know, there's a lot of daft stuff on social media where people are getting really riled up about such topics that don't concern them, right? And there's a lot of stuff about people hating on people who are like non-binary or transgender or part of the gay community. And I try and use the acronym, but I think I'm a little bit dyslexic. I can't get the letters in the right order, and my kid makes fun of me for it. So I don't mean to be disrespectful. I've got kind of something going on with my brain where words get mixed up. So just to kind of make you aware of that. I don't mean to be disrespectful in any sort of way. But like, you know, the idea of like, people acting like it's something new. And I'm like, I studied classical Rome and Greece. I'm like, this isn't new. You know, go and read Ovid's Metamorphoses if you want to find, you know, very old ideas about people transforming between different genders. This is not some kind of like, it's just really weird. I was like, all these old people complaining on social media about drag queens. I'm like, did they not dance to David Bowie or Annie Lennox or, you know, you spin me right round, like soft cell? Like, no, they just kind of didn't. They just ignored that whole music trend. like, do they think this is like Prince? They've never danced to a Prince song, have they not? I was just like, it's so silly. And then for this to be like, this is the oldest deity known to the world, and priests would dress in women's clothing and take on female names. Oh, there's another example as well, is Hatshepsut, who's Matkara Hatshepsut, who's my favorite pharaoh, who was a woman, and she was really successful. She brought Ma'at to the land, guys, and Egypt really prospered under her rule, and she used to wear a beard as a symbol of authority. So like, you know, it's just not a new thing. It's not a new thing, and it's silly to me that people are getting so worked up about it. Ishtar is a goddess of heaven and earth, connecting us with the stars and the heavens while we navigate our human lives. It's just clothes. It's just clothes, guys. It's not that deep. Although to some people it is incredibly deep, right? It's their personality, it's their persona, it's who they are. So just leave people alone. Let them dress how they want to dress. Some people believe her to be a star being who visited the earth in ancient times, and she is often depicted with wings and has been long associated with the morning and evening stars and the planet Venus. Call on Ishtar when you want to fully activate your divine feminine power. Tell you what, I am going to work with this goddess, because I will, what is it? I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of her light. Tell me your sins. The oracle, the power and strength of the goddess resides within you. You can get through any battle or difficulty you encounter. Embrace and enjoy the power of your sexuality and humanness. Don't be afraid of your feminine power, boys and girls. 25. Obviously, we can talk about appropriateness, because I said boys and girls. Like, I don't mean literally children, because obviously that's inappropriate. But you can teach, you know, rather than teaching kids that they should be ashamed of their bodies, you know, teach them that their bodies are beautiful, and you know, whether you would think that they are designed by circumstance or designed by God, you know, be like, do you know how amazing your body is? Do you know how do you know how it works? Do you know how lucky you are to have that body? Like, it's a masterpiece, you know. Teach them to love their bodies, not think of themselves as something that they should be ashamed of, or that they should cover up. You know, I don't know. Baba Yaga is often described in Slavic myths as a terrifying old witch who ate people, but in spiritual circles we now understand the duality of her nature. Yes, she has the potential to harm, but also to heal. She can frighten, but she can also comfort. We are now reclaiming her as a goddess as we reclaim our own inner wise and wild woman. I'm just shifting around on my chair. Which can, of course, you can reclaim no matter your gender. So that's making me think of this kind of freedom and wildness that came in at the end of Scorpio's reading. I feel like between Libra, Scorpio, and your reading, it's felt like this healing of the feminine, because Libra is really dealing with a lot of like Lilith, dark feminine energy, kind of like the dark side of Baba Yaga, and it's kind of transmuted through Scorpio into your reading, and now it's coming out really healthily, and I like that. You know, with anything, you know, anything can be good or bad, right? Everything has a flip side. It's just energy, and then what we do with that energy and how we utilize it, that's the important thing. For centuries now, witch has been used as a hurtful, hateful expression to describe usually a woman. Again, we are reclaiming this word and remember its true meaning: a person who believes in their own power, their own ability to create their reality, which you're doing here, and destiny. These old myths have taught us to fear powerful women, but we now know that we no longer have to fear Baba Yaga. In fearing her, we only fear ourselves and our own divine feminine wild wisdom. So yeah, don't be scared of your own inner feminine. And you could be the most masculine guy on the planet. You could be like, hey, I pound weights, guys. I eat steak and I pound weights. Ugh! Drive fast cars. And I like women. You know, you might be the most macho guy out there, but again, our whole birth chart is made up of feminine and masculine energy. The planets move around that chart. The planets have feminine and masculine properties. So we are affected by feminine and masculine energy. And even if you don't want to believe in that, you could think of it in terms of Carl Jung and, you know, our persona and our anima or animus, if you want to go and look that up, and the construction of what that word means in our own psyche. So yes, we could encounter something externally from us and see it as feminine, but internally we have a stereotype. We have words like mother or wife, and we attach meaning to those words, which comes from within, right? Yes, it may be influenced by external sources, but it's our idea of what that means, and that idea lives within us. So however that means, whether you are you know, however you present in terms of sex and gender, we do have a relationship with feminine energy. You know, whether it's our own mother, our sisters, the women we talk to in the corner shop, right? This builds up an image in our minds, and sometimes that image of femininity can be damaged if we have a toxic mother, a mean sister, a horrible ex-girlfriend. You know, we can think that we can start to paint this picture in our own minds of like, well, women are mean, women are crazy, and that's not true. It's just our own perception based on our experiences. And we do need to heal these things. So as well, I'm talking about the feminine here because it's talking about the feminine a lot in your readings, but this is masculine energy too. You know, if we've only ever encountered bad relationships with men and we've been hurt by men, and you know, maybe our own relationships with our father figures or, you know, wasn't that good, you know, we can have these daddy issues that need to be healed within us, right? Our own conception of what it means to be a man needs to be healed. So this is really what I'm talking about, what I think this set of readings is really doing for us. Opening our arms to Baba Yaga is to reclaim our divine feminine power, our sovereignty, our right to choose our own path, and the power and blessing of aging. The Oracle: remember your divine power, work with both shadow and light, follow your own wild and wonderful path. There you go. Balance it out. Balance it out. This is what Libra's been telling us, and it starts your reading. Balance out the light and dark. Cancer as well there. I really love this. I really love this idea of like healing our own personal conception of what it means to be a man or a woman. And I want to say hopefully allowing flexibility with that. And maybe also something that's like kind of more gender neutral as well. So allowing people perhaps to show us who they are rather than to project who we think they are or who we think they should be, I think is probably something that we're all healing right now. Again, because it needs healing in the collective. You just have to go on like TikTok or YouTube and or Instagram and see a lot of the toxic discourse that's out there that's really disrespectful, that's really trying to control gender. And we're not all meant to be the same. We're not all meant to have, you know, a singular experience or be what other people expect us to be. If we spent our life trying to be what people want us to be, we would constantly be changing, because what people want is constantly changing, and different people have different expectations, and you can't please other people. So you might as well decide for yourself what your sex is, what your gender is, and what the best version of that is, and then embody that, right? And the people who are meant to find you will find you. The people who appreciate you for exactly who you are will find you, rather than trying to be something that's, you know, we're not. Scorpio had that in their reading. They had this thing about kind of like, you know, trying to be the perfect girlfriend and like baking cakes and wearing like cute lingerie and, you know, being like the perfect wife, and then it failing, and then being like, I was perfect. Why did that fail? And it's like, because you weren't being authentic. And by not being authentic, you actually put a barricade up that stops the person getting to know the real you. Of course it was doomed to fail. And not to kind of blame anybody for what the partners get up to, but to have a true Two of Cups relationship, you need to see somebody for who they truly are. And that includes not putting them on a pedestal in terms of like only seeing them as perfect, but allowing them to not be perfect and loving them anyway. And really seeing someone's truth. I don't know. I'll stop preaching to the converted. Okay, Sagittarius. One more thing. Let's get you. I said one. You've got the Fool card. We'll take it. Collaboration, working together, interweaving. The Fool. Where's the guidebook? I put it away because I'm a fool. So we started with the Fool and we're ending with the Fool. The Fool's brilliant because your reading ends with the World card, which is like, I'm done here. I've learned the lessons I needed to learn in this cycle. I'm ready for something new. And then the Fool is taking that leap into the newness, embracing the unknown, right? And being excited for it. A new journey, beginnings, trusting the universe, a time for optimism, not knowing what's coming, naivety, needing to learn new skills, analysis paralysis, a leap of faith. Prompt, uncertain beauty. She hums a tune she used to know, and with bated wishes, she leaps into the abyss of stars and possibility. Thoughts eager, heart racing, hopes high. A million bits of coloured stardust rise up to meet her, as she greets myth and opportunity as she tumbles forwards. She sees her future here in this beautiful swirl of light and potential. What are you searching for? She asks the muse. Something brave, she whispers, something new. For the briefest of moments she feels unprepared, naive, unsure and foolish. She asks herself, are you ready for this? Can you take this journey? And the muse wants her to remember that she is as she can. She wants her to believe in her magic. As she leaps, she leans deeper into trust and begins to hum once more, a song that sounds different this time around, grander, epic even. The notes vibrate the space around her, and her new path begins to unfold, leaving nothing to do but begin. Fearlessly jump into the sea of the cosmos. The spinning potentials are calling. Maybe a little foolish today, yet better done fool-like than stalling. Love it. I'll pause that for you there. You can maybe have that as a little mantra for yourself if you want to screenshot it. It's from the Muse Tarot by Chris Am. And kind of reference back to that yourself throughout July, and have that kind of like she who dares wins attitude, you know. Fortune favours the bold. Fortune and love favour the bold. That's one of my absolute favourite quotes from Ovid, from classical mythology. All right, take care of yourselves. I'm going to also get you a song to close out the reading, and then I am out of here. So what do we have? So for the highest good of everybody involved, what is the one song to really close out this reading?
Here at Spa, we're giving
here at Spa. Sorry, I've got an advert, but it was Angelica by Wet Leg, which is interesting because again, it's two girls in that video. Angelica was on her way to the party. She doesn't need to wait for anybody, knows exactly what she's doing. As I watch, she commands the room. The ambience was overrated at the party. Want to run away before it's even started. I look at my feet, then I look for the door. I can't find my friends, so I just take a bit more. And then it all comes to an end. We all go again. Good times all the time. Angelica, she brought lasagna to the party. I haven't had lasagna for ages. It used to be, when I used to eat meat, lasagna was one of my favorite meals. And vegetarian lasagna is not quite as good. I will admit that as a vegetarian, like meat lasagna was so much better. I couldn't eat it now though because my dietary tastes have changed, and if I eat meat, it really makes me feel really sick. There's something about my body's adjusted and rejects it now, so it wouldn't taste so good to me anymore. But I don't know, I miss lasagna and cannelloni. Oh my god, Asda used to do the best cannelloni, and I would eat two. It was like a ready meal. It was so good, and they stopped making it, and I think it was probably because it was made with like horse meat or something. Like there's probably something wrong with it, but it used to be so good. Anyway, Angelica, she brought lasagna to the party. I tried my luck at dancing with everybody. Sometimes life gets hard to deal. I like you. You've got sex appeal. But I don't want to follow you on the gram. I don't want to listen to your band. And I don't know why I haven't left yet. I don't want none of this. Good times all the time. Angelica, she brought her ray gun to the party. Angelica obliterated everybody. I look at my hands, then I look for the door. I can't help but feel like I've been here before. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I was told there would be free beer. I don't know. Make of that what you will. It's a really fun song, Angelica by Wet Leg. All the songs will be down in the description box for you down below. Go and check them out. Take whatever resonates, leave whatever doesn't. But you look like you're having fun, Sagittarius. So you look like you're having fun, and you look like you need it. So go and let your hair down. Go and have fun. Go and be your sexy self. Treat other people with respect. All that good stuff. And remember, you are the empress on the pedestal. I will see you again soon. Take care.